There's a new fork brace for the Sportster Cafe Racer thing, 39 millimeter. Spacing's right. The only thing you need to watch out when you put it on, this one slides a little bit, so you're going to need to loosen these up, these 4 bolts, so you can let it center itself. These clamps can be backwards. If you stick them together, you just run your finger across and make sure they match up. So if you flip them around, it's not going to be round anymore. It's going to be offset on both sides. So you need to watch for that. And we'll put it on there in a couple minutes. Okay, putting on your brace here. I've already got this one pretty much on when I realized that my camera shut off. So I'm going to go back through this really quick. Bolts here, you need to loosen those up. That allows it to center itself. And the way they come, you want to actually be able to get the fork brace in there if these are tight. So your clamps here, you put those on, make sure that it's the right clamp for that side. In other words, if you flip that clamp over, like you flip this one this way, it probably isn't going to fit, or it actually isn't going to fit. So make sure that those are lined up. Everything kind of loose so you can move it around. Going to get it centered in here. And we're going to tighten these clamps up here. So when you're tightening these clamps right here, just make sure that they're equal. In other words, the space between where you're clamping them. You don't want to clamp one side down all the way and then try to do the other one. Just like you're doing anything else that has clamps like this on there. Handlebar clamps, master cylinder clamps, whatever. Make sure that they're equal. It's not a big deal. And these are pretty small bolts, so you don't really need to ream on them, tighten them. I'd say probably about 12 foot-pounds be good on these. These here are even smaller, so these probably 8 foot-pounds, if that. Now what I do recommend on, not on the clamp bolts, but on the center bolts here, once you get everything in there set the way you want it, torqued down, you can take these bolts out one at a time, put a little blue Loctite on them. Works good. Because even though this is a fork brace, you still do get some flex out of it. And when I've serviced these bikes before, you know, you go through and you're checking all the torques on everything like you're supposed to do whenever you're doing a service. You know, why people don't actually go through and check bolts on their bike, I have no idea. You should, you know, guys that work on the bikes themselves, or even guys that work at dealers. If you're doing a service on a bike, you know, you're changing oil, adjusting the clutch, adjusting the primary chain, whatever, adjusting the belt tension or chain tension, servicing the wheel bearings, all that. What I normally do is get on with the bike on the ground, get on a little roll around cart. Actually, no, I go right front, go down the complete right side of the bike, check, you know, whatever I need to check. Engine mounts, fork clamp over here, all the way down, exhaust mounts, shock mounts, whatever. Go around the back of the bike, check the tail light for, make sure it's tight, and then go back down this side all the way. You know, checking engine mounts, top engine mount, front engine mount, brake, caliper mounting bolts, brake disc mounting bolts. Big one, another one that people forget is the sprocket bolts in the back, or rear pulley bolts. That's a pretty damn big one. Always seems to get overlooked. And then they're surprised when the pulley bolts come out. And then they're trying to blame the manufacturer because bolts are loose. You know, if your bolts come loose and leave you stranded somewhere or break something really expensive, and you've been working on your bike yourself, that's on you. So anyway, these are probably 8 foot-pounds on these little bolts here. And you know, there's different people that make these. Telefix makes one, which actually has 2 bolts in the front here and it's slotted in the middle. So it kind of does this. That's one style. I think Screaming Eagle was like a Telefix one. It says Screaming Eagle, but I guarantee it was made by Telefix, just the way it goes. So that's it for the fork brace. Next up, I got my fork adjuster caps there I need to try and fit up. And gold wheel turned out pretty damn snazzy looking. Still need to clean the paint off the tire, but actually turned out looking pretty good there. So we'll see in a little bit, but that's that. Hope everybody has a good weekend. And thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. Everybody take care. We're going on with this thing. I'm waiting on the bars. Should be here sometime this week. Clip-ons. And ordered the Speedo. Actually, it's a tack for it, and I got to finish making this. I'll just make that tack bracket out of about a 1/4 inch piece of aluminum sheet. Should be good. Time will tell. Anyway, everybody take care.